Hey, real quick, read these out loud. Don't be shy, come on, just say it. Notice how they don't sound the same or are in different words entirely? That's because they're two different things entirely. Congratulations. You just became smarter than half the people on Twitter. Told you I could whistle, by the way. Expected batting average and catch probability are two sides of two different coins. One is an offensive stat, the other is defensive. Let's get into expected batting average first. It's what it sounds like, based on how you hit a ball, taking into account exit velocity, launch angle, and for little dribblers on the infield, sprint speed, pumps out a number of how often you should expect that to be a hit. The nice thing about it is it isn't a calculation. It compares any given batted ball to a database of batted balls and sees how many ended up being hits. Baseball Savant even has this cool tool. You just click on a point between an exit velo and a launch angle, and it'll tell you the XBA and even the percentage of singles, doubles, triples, and home runs. In summation, XBA is an offensive metric used to measure how well a player hits the ball, or should I say, the quality of the contact they make with the ball. When used over the course of a season, you can get a little bit of a sense of how lucky or unlucky a hitter has been. So far this season, Cincinnati Reds third baseman Ke'Bryan Hayes has been the quote-unquote unluckiest hitter, batting nearly 200 points below his expected average. Now, even at 240 he wouldn't be great, but his underlying metrics show he should certainly be above 58. On the flip side, the Washington Nationals right fielder Joey Wiemer has been the luckiest, hitting over 100 ticks better than he quote-unquote should. That being said, there's always a hole in stats. XBA doesn't take a variety of factors into account. Namely, some guys just hit the ball in good spots. A guy like Luis Arias manages to bloop his way on base constantly. You could argue whether a guy who only hits singles, rarely walks, and is a net negative defensively is even a valuable player all you want, but his XBA is almost always going to be lower than his actual batting average. It doesn't take into account where the ball is hit. You know it does? Catch probability also is what it sounds like. It measures, based on available data, how often a catch should be made. Instead of tracking the ball, it takes its landing spot and works from there. It tracks how far the outfielder needed to run, how much time they had to cover the distance, which direction they needed to go, and whether or not the wall made the catch more difficult. This is what you use to measure the difficulty of a catch, not XBA. A player could demolish a ball right at the center fielder who didn't even need a move to catch it. His XBA would be through the roof, but so would the catch probability. I also want to demonstrate something about catch probability that typically upsets people who don't really understand it. Take a look at these two clips MLB posted. Rocket to left, and Aniel Martinez makes a nice diving play. Here's a second. Now, they look nearly identical. But what if I told you the first one had a 65% catch probability, and the second had a 99% catch probability? You'd say, hey Nick, first off, what? Secondly, everybody knows that StatCast measures catch probability in 5% increments. How's it 99? To which I'd say, that's correct, except for 99 for some reason. They don't want to say 100, but I guess they needed more than 95. I don't know why. But there's one key moment that distinguishes the two catches for Martinez. Did you catch it? I bet you didn't. Let's rewind the tape. See? Right there. Oh, you don't? Well, I didn't think I need to spell it out for you, but we'll run it back. It's what Martinez is doing right here. Still no, really. Okay, I'll explain. The single most important factor for an outfielder's catch probability and a Van Halen song that sounds like it belongs on the Wii Sports soundtrack is jump. How quickly they break on the ball matters a ton, but most fans don't think about it because while the outfielder is taking off, we're looking at home plate still. On catch number 2, Martinez had a miserable jump, about 16 feet below average. Quick aside, shout out to Warmonger on Twitter who routinely posts diving catches and their probabilities and who largely inspired me to make this video. Remember how I said catch probability factors the time outfielders have to cover the necessary distance? Well, Martinez had time, plenty of it, but his first move is late and backwards, forcing him to dive. Still, it's a heck of a recovery. I have a surprise for you today, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, just gentlemen then.
Outs above average.
It's as good a time as any to talk about outs above average, seeing as it's based on catch probability. It's actually a pretty easy calculation. If you catch a ball with a 75% catch probability, you get 0.25 added to your outs above average. If you drop it, you lose 0.75. Easy. And if you take a look at last year's leaderboard, you'll see some of the best defenders in baseball. Funny how that works, huh? All of these stats are useful if you understand them. Yes, for something like XBA, actual tangible results do matter, but it's important to acknowledge that some players may be better than the numbers they turn out. Also, I undersold you in the beginning. You were already way smarter than half of the people on Twitter.